I will accept that I kind of, quote-unquote, made a mistake here. Because there's a really fine line with pushing the lane too much and pushing the lane too little. Like,
Okay.
there's a sweet spot where you push the lane just fast enough, where you're going to kill the next wave, waves 3 melee minions quickly enough so that anything cannot get level 2 before you. But there's also the problem which happened in this game, that you guys push too far. So now the wave is gonna meet somewhere over here, and they're too close to the tower for you to actually like run them down all the way from the lane. In a ideal situation, the lane would be crashing over here when the next wave comes in. So now they have to walk all the way from here to the tower if they want to live. But in this game, I think they were like standing over here instead of over here, so they didn't have to cover all this extra distance.
Okay.
So we pushed a little bit too quickly on this wave, but that's still fine because this is like the first time that you've probably ever done this. So I'll give it the green card for this. But as you can see, the waves over here. So we pushed a little bit too fast on this one. So just pay attention to it. You're gonna get better at it.
Okay. So in that situation, hold on to my Q then.
You can. Yeah.
Okay. I queued
you
into
can
them.
hold on to it. Yeah. Like you usually want to queue the first wave. You usually want to queue the first wave and then see if you can also hit one of these guys with your Q. Like that's the ideal situation. Is that if you can get into the lane first and start autoing the wave first, then you probably don't need to.
Okay.
Because you get the extra auto attacks, like maybe like 4 or 5 extra auto attacks before they start auto attacking you. Which means that you just get to push the wave faster, so you don't need to use your Q. But it is matchup dependent. For example, like Caitlyn, if the anything had a Caitlyn, for example, they just like Q the wave and then push the wave much faster than you do, even if you get there first. So it's lane dependent. It's just that the baseline should be you Q the first wave, try to kill them also, and this pretty much guarantee you that you get the push. But like there's like fine tuning with it, but this is like the baseline. You want to pretty much guarantee that you get the level 2, get the wave pushing first, because this is what happens. Like just look at what the anything is doing here. By the way, I didn't check. Are you leveling up by mouse or with keyboard?
Keyboard.
Keyboard, good. Yeah, I probably would have caught it if you had. Yeah, I would have caught it. That's why I didn't take notice of it. But yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, I had to train myself to do that. I also used to play on lock screen, which is horrible.
Yeah, it's horrible. So I noticed you do it a couple of times in this game, where you kind of like Q first and then W. But here's the thing about this combo: is that if you W first, especially if he's like over here, there's nowhere that he can really dodge from your Q. If you just W slow him first. So if you W slow him and then throw your Q, you can keep this like challenging a little bit longer. It does a little bit of extra damage, and then it also does a little bit of extra CC.
Okay.
So that's like fine tuning it a little bit, and it also makes it so that it's a lot easier for you to hit this Q. But yeah, like let's just look at this. You basically go in 1v2 at the beginning. Your Vayne is nowhere to be seen, and you still win this raid. Even though, like, look where the Vayne is. He's like in Narnia. He's nowhere to be seen. And then finally when he starts to like go for the trade, look at all the damage that he takes.
Okay.
And this is like half the fight was like 1v2, and you still win it. Imagine if your Vayne is right there next to you when you start trading. You basically force him to burn their flash, even in this situation.
Okay.
Just play around with this level 2 thing. I guarantee you, people in bronze are not gonna know how to deal with it. And this is the situation that I just love to be in as a channel. Because what you can do now is you can literally just sit here, keep throwing the Qs at the wave, kill the wave before it can even like break through, and then this wave is gonna come in. The wave is gonna be parked right here, and then you can just keep queuing them under the tower, and just like slowly whittling them down. It's just being super annoying. Not only that, but you also get all of your support item gold from hitting the tower, which means that you get it so much faster than this guy. Which means that you can put down so many more wars in the enemy jungle than this guy can.
Okay.
All of this because you get the push level 1 and then you take a winning trade or even kill them at level 2. And what you can also do after you kill them at level 2, if you get a clean level 2 off, what you can do is you can literally just leave the lane and go to mid lane at level 2 and like burn this guy's flash or even kill him. I guarantee you, in bronze, nobody is ever going to expect a level 2 Janna in mid lane at like 2.5 minutes. Never gonna expect it. So that's also something you can do if you get a clean level 2 kill. It just opens up the map so well. Yeah, like see what I'm saying here. It's because you're queuing the wave, they can't do anything. There's so many minions here. So now what you can do here is you literally sit over here, hit the tower for your gold, kill them for a little bit of extra damage, and just be annoying. There's nothing they can do about it. The only thing that you need to worry about in that situation is the Rammus. But in this game, we don't need to worry about the Rammus, because they came into the lane at the same time as we did, which means that they leashed, which means that Rammus did his bot side camp, and he's somewhere around top side right now. So we don't need to worry about that in this situation. Yeah, we sit tower, we can queue them. Yeah, like this is what I was talking about. Like, see, this happened all the time in the early game or in the early lane. You start queuing the way, and look at how they react to it. Yeah, they queue. They were both somewhere over here, and look, they both like went to the other side of the lane. This happened all the time. So when you're trying to hit them with the Q, let's say that they're like over here and over here. Actually, that's yeah. Like let's say that there would be like more over here or like more minions over here, and you start queuing. In this case, it would probably be okay to like queue them like somewhere over here, because they're kind of like spread. So the chance of hitting at least one of them is like 50-50 or whatever. Which, by the way, there's also one perk about pushing the wave into them. It kind of like cuts the wave in half where they can stand, but then to dodge your Q, because they can't realistically they cannot walk over here. If you ever see people walking over here, you know that they have no idea what they're doing, because you can never dodge anything when you stand here. So this should be like danger zone. You never stand here if you're playing bot lane. So what that effectively does is because of this tower, the only places they can stand somewhere over here. More realistically, they probably stand over here. So the space that they can dodge or queue in is much smaller than if they were like standing over here. Look at all this space that they can dodge.
Yeah.
Look at how much bigger this space is compared to this. It's literally like 3 times the space. This is why I love being under the enemy tower and just queuing them away, being annoying. I think it was somewhere over here, but he kind of misstepped a little.
Yeah, I took way too much damage here.
Yeah. One thing about this is that once you can see the Q is gonna hit you, then it's gonna E yourself and mitigate a little bit of damage.
Okay.
But just be aware of this. You're kind of like one of the rules that I usually have, or one of the rules that I tell people, you don't walk over minion waves. This is a really bad habit to have. Okay. Except if you're playing Karma or Zyra or whatever, like all of these bulk champions, who can actually like walk over the minion wave and then like do the damage more like over here somewhere. But because like you can't really do that except if you hit your Q. Yeah, like as a general rule of thumb, you don't walk over minion waves, because then this is what happens. Imagine instead you had waited for a couple of seconds and stayed behind the minions so that the actual WQ doesn't hit you. Yeah, like look how much. Yeah, look how close it is that you don't have your HP here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and this is always worth. Okay. So you ask in the game, should you be in the habit of walking like this? I think because you asked that, I'm guessing that you like looked at one of my videos where I explained that you usually don't want to walk through here just in case something happens in mid lane. In this case, I told you to go mid lane because the Vex is pretty low on mana, but he's still trying to push the wave in. So if the Ahri gets to lane in time, and you can come through here, then this is probably a kill. Yeah, when you look at bot lane, you don't really need to be here, honestly. Like, the lane is gonna be looking for a back pretty soon. So you don't need to be in bot lane. Going back to bot lane doesn't do anything for you. But you can get something done in mid lane. Even if you don't get anything done in mid lane, you can get done a couple of wars in the enemy jungle. At least. But just going straight back to mid lane doesn't do anything. Yeah, we stop his back. We put down a ward. And this is what I call the MVP ward, by the way. If you can get this down at around this time, like in the first 5 minutes or so, it just gives you so much information about the enemy jungler. If you're playing on blue side, the MVP ward is over here, right at the top edge of this bush. So if you can somehow get through here and then put down a ward over here, you pretty much always see when the enemy jungler is going through this point. I think you probably could have gotten this kill on Rammus.
Yeah, this was another one of my major mistakes.
Yeah.
It was
I
this
think
one
you're
in
being...
River.
Yeah, you're being too hasty here. I mean, it is a little bit unfortunate that Vex is right there with her ultimate, but I'm pretty sure you can kill this guy before the Vex can really like react to it properly. The problem is that you show here too quickly.
Okay, so I should have waited a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, you should have waited for the Kindred to come, or you could have also just came through here and like just sat in this bush and waited for the Kindred to come, and then you can full charge your Q, knock him up for like much longer cooldown duration, and just give the Kindred 3 hits. But the problem is that because you show so quickly, the Vex has a lot more time to like realize what's going on. Look at how far away she can see you coming.
Okay. Because of the Rammus.
The same for Rammus. He can see you coming from all the way over here instead of just sitting over here, just like full charging your Q in this bush right now.
Okay.
And also, this is something that's a little bit more advanced for Janna. But just think about it from his perspective. Where can this guy possibly go from this point on? Where can he possibly like move?
Left to top, left to bottom. Oh.
Yeah. The only way he can move is here. But you just quick tap your Q and knock him up for the 0.5 seconds. Why not instead just throw the Q here and just like full charge it?
Okay.
This is the only way that he can move.
Okay.
So what you do here instead of doing this is you walk up, you W for the slow, cast the Q over here, and just wait for him to walk into it. That's literally the only thing he can do. So if you do it in one of those ways, and not let the Vex know that you're there from all over here, I'm pretty sure we get this kill on the Rammus. And then if you kill the Rammus, then maybe the Vex doesn't kill you both, because the Rammus is not there to back it up anymore. Also, it's a little bit unfortunate that the Ahri didn't move with you, but I guess it's kind of be expected-ish in bronze. But yeah, the Ahri should have been moving over. Like, the Ahri should have ulted over this wall, and then it would have been a 3-2 and you just win. But the Ahri didn't move. But this.
Yeah, I should have died here, but I think the Vayne got the kill on the ass.
Yeah, Vayne got on them. Yeah, yeah, you got pretty lucky here.
Here you said to be careful with bush, or I die. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. If the because like let's just look at it from their perspective. I mean, I guess Nami was out of mana. Yeah, Nami was out of mana, but I didn't see that. Because if I'm Nami and I had mana here, and I would see you like hovering over this side, I would literally just sit in the bush and just wait for you to walk into it, and then auto W, and you just insta die and just walk away.
Okay.
So being a little bit more careful would have been sure. And this is why I love this board, by the way, because every single time this Rammus is bot side, going through here or going through here, you pretty much always see it because of this board. The only time you don't see him is if he goes for golems and then goes straight to bot lane. That's the only time you don't see him being boss side with this ward. This ward is so insanely good. And nobody ever checked this book. Also. And also same thing over here on blue side. One thing that I also was talking about in the game, which I really can't emphasize enough, is you have to know which side of the lane is stronger. And the main way you do that is by checking people's items. Because when you have a look at this, Sheen, 700 gold, plus, I don't know, 700 from Longsword. We can ignore here and the Dorans because the tier doesn't have any combat stats, and both of them have Dorans play. So over here, the Ezreal has 1400 gold in terms of items. Vayne has 1300 plus 850. So that's 2175 plus boots, which is 2475. So you have almost like even 1100 gold difference in terms of your items. You're so incredibly far ahead that any single fight you take at this moment, you pretty much never lose. Even though the Vayne's help by this much, yeah, like the items themselves are so important. Even though she's quote unquote only ahead by 700 gold, a lot of the gold is in tier, which doesn't actually have any gold, like gold value in terms of like combat stats. So always get in the habit. Every single time you reset or then if bot lane resets, you press tab and you have a look at the items.
Okay.
That's the best way you can kind of like figure out how strong people are. How I got better at knowing if I'm stronger or worse, or stronger or weaker than any bot lane, is in my head. I would always keep these like power meters in my head. Right now, I would be thinking, okay, well, Ezreal is pretty weak in the early game. Ezreal has less items. Nami is kind of like whatever. Then a bot lane power level is probably like somewhere over here. Okay, then what do we have? Vayne is level 6. Vayne has every summoner. You have every summoner. Vayne has 1100 gold for items. Our power level is probably like over here. So once you think that you have this power level, again, you're not gonna be 100% correct on this because you're, again, like 3-4 months into the game. We're just like playing the 500 games to like try to figure out how the game works.
Yeah.
So you want to be always thinking, am I stronger or weaker than the enemy bot lane? And then you just try it out if you think you're stronger.
Okay.
If you're wrong, you're wrong. And then you can go back into the replay or like after the play goes wrong, you go, okay, well, what happened? Why did we lose? Was I just wrong? Did somebody fuck up mechanically? Like, what happened?
Okay.
Was I wrong in my assessment?
Okay.
But you have to like have some kind of an idea if you're stronger or weaker.
Okay.
And in this case, you are so unbelievably far ahead that the enemy bot lane should not even be allowed to like stand in the lane. The problem is that Vayne takes a lot of free damage. And even now, after you hit level 6, even now you would win. I'm like 90% sure that if you fought right now, once you hit level 6, you win this fight. Even though Vayne's like 400 HP and he's full HP. You guys are so far ahead that you would. I'm pretty sure that you would just win this fight.
So in terms of HP, if I had my ult right now, is it a waste just to throw it on the Vayne or to keep her in lane?
Or like healing?
Yeah.
If the Vayne was like 100, 200, 300 HP, yeah, it would be okay. But I think right now probably not. Vayne is still healthy enough that you would win a 2v2.
Okay.
But if she was like real low, then probably not. Okay. Yeah, this is so sad. This should have been like game over right now. See, the thing about this is Vex is out of mana. Your Vayne is like turbo fed, like astro fed. This is the most fed Vayne you have ever seen in your life fed. There's absolutely no universe in which we should ever like let them walk up like this.
Yeah.
So, how do we win this fight? Or how do we keep the fight going? Your positioning here is like actually just perfect. Because no matter what happens, they should not ever be allowed to walk through you. And then you have Ahri coming from the other side, and you just win the 2v3.
Okay.
So what you do here is starting the queue is okay, but you should be shielding the Vayne, and then you can even just like walk at them, and then ult and push them into the Ahri.
Okay.
Just do anything. Like you can usually just after the skill hits, you can E and then ult, and then keep the Vayne healthy enough, keep the Vayne healed up, so he feels like confident that he can fight because he's so healthy. And then you have Ari coming from that side, from the backside. You win this fight 2v3, even now.
Okay.
You never lose this fight. Yeah, just ult them right here. There's pin. Ult them right here. They're pinned to the wall. And on the other side there's Ari, and then your Vayne is healing up. It is actually like a criminal offense that the enemy team just gets to walk this off. It should be like illegal. But because we hold on to the ult for so long, they get to cancel it, then Vayne doesn't feel strong enough that he can like do anything. Which is true. He can't do anything after that. Because he's gonna be too unhealthy.
But now I know. Okay, so next time don't mess up. And then the other really bad one was the river fight where, see, like you said Greg is TP top, and I don't know why in my mind I was like, in my mind I was like, wait, why am I going top? Which is super dumb. I don't know why.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Wait, I think it was over here. No, it wasn't here. Yeah, it was this one. Yeah, it was this one. Yeah, because you can see the TP, or I guess you didn't like you at least didn't like recognize that the Krakash was top side, I would say. But like this is a 45 right here.
Mm.
I think letting them just get away with this dragon is also criminal. Like somebody should go to jail for not fighting this.
Because it's a way I never thought about Jenna before, like that engagement with her ult, like pushing him in a certain direction, especially if a teammate is coming from said direction.
Yeah, but Janna, like it shouldn't be more like Janna should not be viewed as an engager pretty much ever. Like, Janna is a champion on which actually let's have a look at one of these things. Let's have a look at this. Because I think this is like, yeah, I think this is the best example. Janna is a champion that just loves, like, this is probably like the best, or like one of the better positions that you could have here. A little bit further up would be fine because the Garen is literally one with warning, so you have space. But this is again going back to the push and pull thing. Like you should be behind your ADC, like far enough that the enemy doesn't kill you with like random stuff, but close enough for them to try it.
Okay.
But that's like really difficult to do, especially if you're like a new player. But like, I learned that one of the best ways that you can play Janna in teamfights is you're literally just like a little fly. Like you're just outside of the range, and like when people try to squat you, you just walk away so that they can't. So you're just out of range because of your like 419 movement speed. So you can literally just like look around the enemy team. Just look at the important cooldowns the enemy team has. To be fair, in this game, they have Grasshold and Vexhold, which are really long range that they can kill you. In this game, it would be a whole lot different. But if it would be a lot more like a straight up back to or front to back team fight, where both of teams just like run into each other, you can literally just like walk a little bit, quote unquote, a little bit too far to like make the enemy team interested in you, so that they can try to like kill you. But then just walk away and just be a fly, just be annoying, just make them really mad. But before you get there, the position you should be looking at is you're literally in teamfights. This is the only guy that you're looking at. Literally, the only guy that you're interested in is your ADC.
Okay.
You don't even look at the enemy team. The only time you look at the enemy team is when your Q is off cooldown and you just like want to throw it out. That's the only time you look at the enemy team when you're learning to play Janna. The only thing you care about is your ADC. That's the only thing you're looking at.
Okay.
Yeah, the reason why we won this game, by the way, is because they took both of these inhibitors but couldn't break the third, which means that we were just flooded with golden XP from the support minions, which Vayne got the free farm. And Vayne also got a couple of like really big shutdowns on in the top side fight over here. By the way, you would have lost this game if you hadn't taken this fight. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, if you don't take this fight, I'm pretty sure you lose. Because Vayne gets the Gragas, Vayne gets the shutdown from the Vex, and Vayne also gets the Nami, I think. Not only because of the kills, giving this guy like an extra item here, but also because it buys time, because they have to respawn before they can do anything else. And it also gives you the 40 nice, the soul. If you don't take this fight, you lose. It was just the most important here is that you recognize that you can actually take this fight. The reason why you can take this fight is because you have Vayne here and because Vex is slow. I think one of the last things that I'm gonna talk about here, it's really important when you're playing the game, is that you recognize what is important to you and what is important for the enemy team. The enemy team, the only guy who is actually like really scary in the enemy team is the Vex. So usually what you want to be doing, I have a rule of solo queue, which at this point it doesn't matter because it's like 30 minutes in the game. But usually in the like early and mid game, rule goes. Wait, I'm having a brain lag. Wait. Okay. The rule is that you avoid who's strong on the enemy team and you play with who is strong on your team. Very simple rule. Basically means that if there's a strong champion on the enemy team, chances are that they can like 2v3 or like 1v3 or like 1v2 or something. So you just go there and you try to kill him, and then he just gets a couple more kills, and now the situation is even worse. I'm sure that you've seen it happen like every now and then, where people just walk into like a level 17 Garen who's like 10-0, and the guy's like presses QEs and like kills 3 people. Yeah, and now he's just even more bad. Yeah, happens all the time. So that's what you want to be avoiding doing. If you get 1v3, sure, but if it's only a 1v2, especially if you're playing with who is losing against that guy, don't do it. Okay. It's gonna make everything worse. And if you can see that your team is about to do it, try to pin them off. Okay. Like even in like higher and more games, I have lost so many games just because I ignored the rule. Even like I got lazy, ignored the rule, and then like had one bad fight with like a Cassidy on the enemy team, and Jim's being his like he gets a shutdown, and yeah, the game just ends because Cassidy is Cassidy. So yeah, just avoid who is strong on the enemy team and play with who is strong on your team. Really important thing to do, especially when you're playing an Enchanter champion like Janna. Okay. And especially if you have strong champions on your team who you can like buff up with your shields and everything. Okay. Also, you should have some kind of like a priority list for who is the most important guy on your team. Number 1 in this game obviously is Vayne. Number 2 is Kindred. Number 3 is Garen. Number 4 is Ahri. But we can probably much just Ahri. But you should have like this checklist of like, okay, well if this guy goes down, who do I support? Oh, this guy. This guy goes down, who do I support? Probably after you lose these 2 guys, your option is to just leave unless you're just winning. Okay. If you're even or ahead in the game, you want to be warding the enemy jungle. Because I'm gonna talk about this, the last thing that I'm gonna talk about. If you can put down a couple of wards in the enemy jungle, you can use these wards to know if you can walk here or not. Because basically, whenever I play the game, I think of the game as like 4 quarters to that, and I'm always trying to figure out how many people are on this side, how many people are on this side. If there's like 4 people are on both sides, then top side is pretty much completely undefended. Except if the one guy missing is Vex. It's 1 shot 2 if you go there. But yeah, if you know that you can walk over here, put down a couple of wards over here, walk away, and then with these wards, you know when you can walk over here safely. Okay. And then you just like have this like constant cycle of vision going. It just makes it so much easier to play the game when you know exactly where the enemy team is. Okay. The only time you break this cycle is when Dragon or Baron is up. Or when they're spawning. Also, when Baron spawns, you usually want to be playing around the top side of the map. And then only switching over to bot side when Dragon is up. Or when Dragon is spawning.
No, that was pretty much it. The only other thing was skill order, so is it okay to max out shield and then W?
Yep, that's what you do on channel. Yep, you E-max into W-max into Q-max.
Okay, cool. That's the only other thing I had.
Yep.